We gotta share with youth when we introduce what you wanna hear about. We talk about our truths and give you news from out our studio. So come and tune and get you moving. We need you to hear us out.
Hear us out. Hear us out. Hear us out.
Yeah, yeah.
Hear us out.
What?
Hear us out. Hear us out.
Whoa.
Hear us out. Hear us out.
Hey guys, and welcome to a special edition of the Hear Us Out show brought to you by WPPM, LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM, PhillyCAM Community Radio, coming at you live from both the main station and Facebook. So I'm JT, and I'm here today with Ramses and Keish, along with our special guest, Miss Aisha Shabazz, here to provide some guidance and insight on dealing with mental health in these trying times. Ramses?
So, Aisha Shabazz is a licensed clinical social worker who specializes in providing mental health therapy to teens and young adults who are currently struggling with anxiety. Aisha's guiding principle is that suffering and therefore therapy don't have to last forever. And therapy is just one way you can manage your anxiety, maintain balance, and thrive in life in real time. This spring, Aisha will be launching In Real Time Wellness, a solo private practice that will serve residents of Philadelphia County, Delaware County, and parts of New Jersey.
Hey. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for coming. So, I guess thank you for connecting because we're like online and stuff. So so in real time wellness, can you like describe that to us a little bit, like what it's about, what you plan to do with it?
Sure. So, as you mentioned in my introduction, I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and what that means is that I have the opportunity to open up my own private practice so that I can provide individuals, families, therapy as my individual entity. So In Real Time Wellness will be an opportunity for people to receive outpatient mental health treatment, and I specialize in treating teens and young adults with anxiety. And some people have a feeling or a good idea that they have anxiety, and then some people don't know. So the opportunity to receive help starts with them giving me a call and us having just a brief 15-minute conversation about what's going on in their life, what's overwhelming them, and then determining if therapy is a good fit for them at this time in their life.
Cool. I guess like building off of that a little bit, like what are some like signs of anxiety, or like what are some like things that might mean that a person is anxious? So like what is like an anxious feeling? Like people like I don't know, you know?
Yeah, that's a great question. So anxiety really is the concept of excessive worry. And there are aspects in our life that are normal to worry about. But when the worry comes to the place where you're thinking about it a majority of your day, if things that you're worrying about are keeping you up at night or preventing you from being successful in your life, then that's where we enter into this phase of maybe it's anxiety. Some of the clients that I've worked with have described anxiety as exhibiting as being anger. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something that is a cut and dry situation. Also, anxiety sometimes couples up with depression. And so when people are experiencing depression, it could also mean that they're also experiencing anxiety as well. So for someone who's not clear as to whether or not they're experiencing anxiety, I would encourage them, especially during the time that we are now with COVID-19 and being self-isolated and just out of our normal routine, consider that the level of stress and worry that you're experiencing is not normal, for lack of a better word. We're having to worry about whether or not we're going to be able to go back to work, whether or not we're going to be able to go back to school. And those are normal things to worry about at this time. However, if there's prolonged stress and the worry persists, let's say we're able to go back to our normal lives, and at night you're thinking about when is the next time that we're going to have a pandemic. I shook 10 people's hands today. Does that mean that I'm going to get sick? if those sorts of things start to overly worry you, then it's a possibility that anxiety might be present for you outside of the normal day-to-day.
So, like you said, like you were talking about COVID-19, right? And a lot of people are like social distancing and stuff like that. So they may not be able to like, I don't know, like they may not have access to like their previous like coping methods and stuff. So what are some things that you recommend to like stay like mentally like stable while not like like not like going outside as much?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the hardest thing about activating coping skills is it's really hard to do when you're under a high level of stress. So for those of us, if we can remember that far back, what our lives were like before, I would challenge you to consider what were the things that you used to do that would help you get through stressful times. That's the first step. If those things consisted of going outside, spending time with friends, then you're in a whole different situation, right? Because the things that we've become used to doing, we can't do anymore. You talked about access. So one of the things that I encourage people to keep in mind that are not working with individuals suffering from anxiety or just working with people in general is that access doesn't look the same for everybody. Here in Philadelphia, explicitly, there are a lot of folks working to advocate for increased access to quality mental health treatment. And as we know, everybody doesn't have the same access to care based on where they live and based on what their household income is. So in regards to resources, there are a lot of free resources that are available. I will provide you all some information after the show so that you can share with your listeners about a Philadelphia collective where there are people just like me that are therapists, social workers, even yoga teachers who are volunteering their time to support people in this very difficult time at no charge for their service. The second thing that you can do is that keep in mind that free doesn't necessarily mean accessible, because there are a lot of things that are free to us, but that doesn't mean that someone's going to feel invited to take advantage of that resource. So if you don't have access to a phone or an access to the internet, I would encourage you to be creative. There are a lot of things that we're very accustomed to using, and it kind of steals away our creativity, so to speak. So if you have a pen, a pencil, or a piece of paper, that's an opportunity for you to be creative. I know that there's a lot of creative people out there in Philadelphia, and so, draw, write, journal, do something that's going to get your creative mind going, and that could be an opportunity for you to alleviate some stress. Some other things that people are doing in regards to information is try not to overwhelm yourself with the amount of information that you're receiving. Social media is a beautiful tool. It's case in point for us streaming right now, right? There are people connecting through different platforms like Facebook and Instagram and even through your website. But sometimes just using social media too much can be overwhelming for the mind. And so have an opportunity to take a break. There are ways that we can get reliable information about COVID-19 updates. You can sign up for the City of Philadelphia's text messaging and email alerts, and they even have an app where you don't have to connect directly into the news all the time. You can wait until you get a text message to see any pertinent updates that you need to know or that the city feels like you need to know. And I subscribe to those updates myself because I don't want to overwhelm myself with all of the information that's coming through.
Yes, I do have a question about, you made a good point about access, and I feel like in the Black community, yeah, when we don't have access, but when we do have access, mental health is really a taboo. And I really want to ask the question of, I see in my family, people will deny signs, or if you live with an older person, they have something like Alzheimer's or early signs of that. How do you convince the person to go to therapy when it's like it's a really taboo topic?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, and you're absolutely right. In communities of color, especially the Black community, we do still have a lot of stigma around mental health and getting the help that we need. I would certainly say that you can use other people as an example. So I know that there are a lot of people that have certain opinions about celebrities, but if there's someone that you're talking to that has an attachment to a specific celebrity and they have come out to say that I have a therapist or I've sought treatment for a challenge that I was having either recently or in the past, educate them on that. Like, oh, wow, this person saw a therapist. What do you think? That's one thing, if that's meaningful to that person. The second thing is that you can offer them resources and support without it necessarily having to come from a therapist. So there are a lot of hotlines out there that are 24/7 that also have a lot of resources where it talks about how do you help someone that doesn't want to get help, and they give you tools on how to have conversations with people like that. But for the time that we're here together, I would say the biggest thing is try to talk to them about how their condition or the ways in which they're going about their life are negatively impacting you and your relationship with them. The fact is that when we encourage people to get help, that's a sign that we love them. And if you're telling them, I'm noticing these differences in you, and I really want to find out, is it something that we can talk about, because I love you and I care about you very much, and I want you to be the best that you can be and the best that you want to be. That's very hard to argue with if someone that you're talking to is going to receive that message. So that's where I would first start off with. And then lastly, just be persistent. Sometimes people are just not ready to hear the message of, I think you need to receive some external help. There's only so much that we can do as friends and family to help our loved ones. And there is something to be said about people that want to get help and inviting them to do that.
Cool. Thank you so much. That was like super enlightening. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have any closing statements?
Yes, for sure. So for all of the folks out there that consider themselves children or a part of a family, if you feel as though that you are in need of help or support, please don't hesitate to reach out. Unfortunately, there has been some recent news developments about individuals completing suicide because of the stress and strain related to the quarantine and the social distancing. So I would encourage anybody that is feeling hopeless or knows someone that's feeling hopeless to reach out for support. There is a telephone number that you can call 24 hours, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. And, again, I will provide that information as a handout, but the number here is 1-800-273-8255, and that's a 24/7 hotline.
Cool. Thank you so much. And where can we find you or your organization on like social media and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So my social media will be up and going within the next couple of weeks, and the handle across all platforms is @InRealTimeWellness. And you can send me an email in the meantime at info. The email address is info@inrealtimewellness.com. And so either email @intimewellness.com or via email info@inrealtimewellness.com.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Ms. Aisha, for coming by and stopping on the show and giving us all that great advice. Now we're going to take a short break, brought to you by Miles Ramone, his song Priceless.
He's really, I don't know, he's fantastic. He's a musician, guitarist, keyboardist, producer, all that type of stuff. And he's going to be performing later on at 5:25. So pretty excited about that.
If I'm being honest, I'm
surprised we made it this far. You got me pissed off, don't want no parts. To think I almost gave it up, but man, at what cost? At what cost? You want to be closer to me, and I want some love. You wanna leave, make up your mind. I know you see it. You dropping seeds, reap what you sow. I take the lead, go and I go. All that I say, know that I mean it. Whoa, you tryna outgrow right? Yeah, what's up? Don't show me no love. Yo, hold up. Wanna be solo. So much too much. If you would listen, or pay attention, will it all make sense? If I'm being honest, I'm surprised we made it this far. You got me pissed off, don't want no parts. To think I almost gave it up, but man, at what cost? At what cost? If I'm being honest, I'm surprised we made it this far. You got me pissed off, don't want no parts. To think I almost gave it up, but man, at what cost? At what cost? I'm lost, always at war with my conscience. Too much to think, what do I bring to the table? Am I able to love myself? I love myself. Do I do?
So now we're back with our special edition of the Here South Show, brought to you by WPPM Philadelphia 106.5 FM, PhillyCAM Community Radio. You just heard about our special guest that will be coming up soon, and now we're going on to the discussion. So, we've been trapped inside for weeks on end, some people longer than others. How are you guys enjoying your life inside the great indoors so far?
I would say that it's I don't know, I'm enjoying it a lot. I've just been playing a lot of video games and reading a lot. I've been exercising a lot too. It hasn't it's not that big of a shift for me.
How about you, Keish?
Well, for me, although I really thought going into this I was an introvert, I realized that I am not, and that I do depend a lot of the time that I spend a day on people. So it's been a learning experience. This experience has helped me learn about myself, which is a good thing, and it's also helped me learn how self-conscious I am every single day. Even when looking in the mirror, I think that not going out every day, when I looked in the mirror, I didn't even know who I was a little bit because I didn't look in the mirror in like a while because of this experience. So that's how I'm feeling. How about you, Jake?
Well, I'm just basically here doing what I can. It's like I only go outside when my dog needs to walk and my mom kind of makes me do it.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time I'm just inside, homework, working, reading books. And that brings up another question. Are you guys some of the lucky ones that are just home chilling because you don't have to work, or are you now forced to work from home and school work from home? Or are you free, living your best life? What is your situation?
Keep it being you can go, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Well, so for me, it's really a balance and act because I do work. I go out, do jobs. So right now I'm cleaning people's houses and stuff like that. But people I know because it's like Corona. So I'm I also am full time in school, so I have like 5 classes that I have to balance, and then I'm also trying to take care of family and just trying to balance out the mental health and the physical part. The physical part is kind of slacking a little bit, but everything is it's definitely been a change. It made me realize more so how much um I c- I try to fill up my capacity. So yeah, I guess yeah.
You said
Uh
you have 5 classes?
Yes.
And are they all online now?
Yes.
And that transition must have been hard.
Really hard.
What classes are you taking?
So I'm taking sociology, criminal justice, acting, FYE, and I'm in different English class.
Wait, how does acting work online?
So we calling on Zooms. Most of the classes online schools, well, schools have transitioned to either Zoom or Google Hangouts. So we've been doing
Hmm.
table reads and things like that. But how been your experience around this?
Uh, like I don't know. It's like everything's online. Like nothing is not accessible through a computer. So yeah, like whatchamacallit. For me, it's like I've been having to like edit stuff and like contact people, but that's really not difficult. Like I can do that anywhere from my like PC and stuff, you know. So it's been mostly chill. It's been a little bit tough, like balancing like work stuff with like working out. Like sometimes when we have like Zoom calls and stuff, I'll just be like put myself on mute and work out during the call because it's like I like have like underestimated how long I was gonna take to work out. But yo, it's that's how it is.
Now, here's the real question I have. Does your new life and the onlineness of it and the new setup it has put you in have you longing for the past, living in the moment, or looking towards the future?
I feel like I'm always trying to live in the moment, because that's like the real way to live forever. But I'd say like being inside all the time because it's like interacting with other people, like other people can be so caught up in their anxieties and stuff and like trying to find out like what's next, especially because like people treat me like they don't know what I'm gonna do next, like I'm just like some like weird force of randomness or whatever. So it's like being on my own has really just like helped me like prune like other people's perceptions of me and really like center myself and stuff. So yeah, like even though I'm always trying to live in the moment, I feel like more so now, being alone has been helping me be more in the moment.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Because going into different situations, like in my past life, not past life, but past life, I've been really trying to coping through different problems. And what I have become more aware of is really how to stay present and how to be vulnerable in moments that are crisis like. Because I think that the only way that you can really heal is when you expose like different wounds. So I think that for me, times like this, the inevitable is really good for building really who you are as a person because it brings the best out of you and it basically exposes things that you thought you could cover up and situations you thought you could cover up, I guess.
Wow, it's deep. And what advice would you give to those that find themselves in the opposite situation, those that find themselves stuck and longing for the past and sinking slowly into depression?
My advice for everybody would always be like just breathe, because a lot of people like this is my biggest thing. Like a lot of people don't like breathe right and stuff, right? Like it's like, and once you like notice your breathing, like, and you can notice like oh wow, I didn't even peep that I was like breathing so fast or that I was like so agitated and stuff. And like other like basic stuff like meditate, right, etc. And just like don't feel guilty about like entertaining yourself, or don't feel guilty about like not learning a new skill or starting a new company or whatever. Like it's okay to just like chill and like relax.
We have some advice on how to take care of your mental health from the city of Philadelphia. First off, relax. Everyone has something that works for them, be it music, yoga, prayer, exercise, etc. Be sure to pace yourself. Second, connect with people. Reaching out to people with whom you're close is a good way to stave off depression and loneliness. Third, be sure to stay informed using credible sources such as City of Philadelphia's COVID-19 webpage or the CDC's. To see the full list, go to the City of Philadelphia's COVID-19 website. And for those of you that are struggling with symptoms of loneliness and depression, worry not, because the Philadelphia's Behavioral Health Education and Training Network and the Department of Behavioral Health, as well as the Intellectual Disability Services, are hosting mental health webinars on Zoom every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. The calls will discuss topics like stress coping, self-care, alcohol dependence, and supporting children amid the COVID-19 outbreak. Or if you're in need of immediate assistance, feel free to contact one of the crisis hotlines. For National Suicide Prevention's Lifeline, called 1-800-273-TALK, also 8255. For Crisis Text Line, text PA to 741-741. And for Disaster Distress Helpline, 1-800-985-599. And that's all for our resources. Now we go over to Ramses with our artistic expression guest. Ramses?
So yeah, our artistic expression guest, Miles Ramone. So like I said earlier, he's a singer, he's a guitarist, he's a keyboardist, he's a producer, and as far as we know, he's a human being. That's what his Instagram bio says. Pretty suspicious, but whatchamacallit. So yeah, he's about to perform a cappella for us today. Ooh. So yeah, here he is with his double puffs, about to kill this germ. About to pour myself a weed.
Yes. Hello. Hey guys. How's everybody feeling?
Hey.
I hope you're all feeling well. Okay, so today I'm going to be performing a song. It's called Space. I wrote this song when I was in a time of like, I really just needed to breathe, like Ramses was saying. I was really in like a really cloudy space. And I didn't really understand myself as much as I thought I could. So I wrote this. All right, cool. Oh, oh. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. I don't want you up in my face. Think you're way out of my league. Everybody wanna gaze. I don't wanna say it's out of my control. I don't wanna be controlled. I'm done with the cycle, repeating the cycle. You think that you got what it takes. We are not one and the same. Always slowing down the pace. I'm picking my brain, just trying to make sense. I hope that you're leaving. I love when I take it all back. Always something in the way. I'm overthinking everything. Tired of being in the ring. I can't fight this time. Clouding up my mind. Space is what I need from everything. I'm just seeking out the wrong things. Need to seal my heartbeat. Need to smell the flowers. Need to sip my coffee. Space is what I need. What I need. Yeah, sick of the socials. And I never wanted to hurt you. But I come first, no joke. I'm just scared that I might choke. I'm complicated. And I don't need love, I don't want cash. So please, all that I ask is for some space. Is what I need. With everything, yeah. And I'm just focused on the wrong things. Need to feel my heartbeat. Need to smell the flowers. Need to sip my coffee. Space is what I need. What I need. Taking time with myself. I'm not ever rushing. Time is precious, love it. Turn the thinner something. Do what's good for my health. Alkaline my stomach. Living with a purpose. Using all my limits. Taking time with myself. I'm not ever rushing. Living with a purpose. Leave me be, it's worth it. Do what's good for my health. Alkaline my stomach. Living with no limits. Using all my limits. Yeah. That's Space.
Thank you so much. So
Thank
real
you.
quick, where can we find you
That was
on
beautiful.
social media, SoundCloud, everything?
Okay, you can find me on social media on my Instagram at miles.ramone. You can find me on all platforms at just Miles Ramone, MILESRAMONE.
Cool. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much
much,
for everything.
Miles, for stopping by and dealing with the tech issues. And that's all for our show, folks. Be sure to check us out some of the resources that are mentioned, and our wonderful artist, Miles Ramone, as well as our interviewee, Miss Aisha. You can find past shows on SoundCloud at PhillyCAM.com or our Instagram at WPPM Hear Us Out. Stay connected to PhillyCAM online at PhillyCAM.com, where you can watch or listen to our community-produced content. This has been our special edition of Hear Us Out Show, brought to you by WPPM LP Philadelphia, 106.5 PhillyCAM Community Radio. I'm JT, and I'm here with Ramses and Keys. Thank you for stopping by, folks, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
We got a show with youth when we introduce what you want to hear about. We talk about our truths and give you news from out our studio. So come in, tune and get you moving. We need you to hear us out.
Hear us out. Hear us out. Hey, hear us out.
Yeah, yeah.
Hear us out. What? Hear us out. Hear us out. Hear us out. Hear us out.
Yeah.